I got a Daisy feeling. I got a Daisy feeling. Yeah.
What is going on, everybody? I'm JABYBHAI, joined by LEQUAN, BENNETT, and ACHARAJI.
What's up?
We are here at IMAX headquarters yet again. We just saw Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Did I say the name correctly?
I think you did.
Is it Rise of Beasts? I messed this up so much with episode 9 of Star Wars.
Yes, Rise of the Beasts.
So
there were beasts involved.
We got to watch this in IMAX, obviously, in the best, most ideal place possible at IMAX headquarters. And I gotta say, the IMAX experience, super awesome. Obligatory mention of IMAX since we were here. And I really, really liked that experience for a film like this.
It works really well for Transformers because
Exactly.
you get the whole scale.
Yes.
I loved all of the stuff with like the robots and like the Autobots, the Maximals and everything. And when it was really big, it was really impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously the best way to watch it is an IMAX.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, you're dealing with anything where you're dealing with giant robots or beasts or giant robot beasts, right? You're gonna want to go IMAX, and it's not just the super crisp resolution and all that, but the sound. Really
yeah.
affects
Sounds
experience.
amazing.
The rumble that you feel, it's super immersive. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the first Transformers by Michael Bay, what I always noticed was just the amount of detail that was on screen at any given moment. And here, it's like, you know, film over film, irrespective of the quality of the movie, you know, film over film, the effects improve and the detail improves. And that is true yet again here, where it's just like amazing with the cutting edge technology of CGI, like the scale and the scope of things. It's just marvelous, like interplanetary stuff happening. The finite detail that you get to pick up on an IMAX screen is marvelous. If there's any way to watch this film, if you're gonna go watch it in theaters and watch it in IMAX. Is that good? I mean, and to what LEQUAN said, the sound is excellent. I mean, like that was definitely something I noticed was the sound as well.
Not just the sound, and I think maybe it's just because it's around that time. You know, like I remember growing up and like the 80s were super popular, and then now the 90s are super popular, right? Because it's like that generational thing. And so I was actually just really digging the soundtrack. That 90s hip hop soundtrack,
100%.
I was like, yes.
This is easily the best soundtrack, in my opinion.
Okay.
For any Transformers movie.
Okay.
Not necessarily score, but soundtrack.
Yeah.
I was banging my head like the whole, like the first 30 minutes straight.
There is a slight bias that has been introduced in watching this film because afterwards we got to speak with Optimus Prime himself.
Peter Cullen.
We got some photos with him.
Yes.
And he is super, super, super nice. So that has like shifted my feelings about the film just a little bit. I am not gonna lie to you guys. But coming out of the film, before I got to talk to him, I did have, you know, good and bad feelings about the story. And I think that Bumblebee so far, ever since the first Transformers film, has been my favorite Transformers movie. And that is still true after watching this one, because the story, the heart, the characters, everything I felt like was better there, and it's not focused on the scale as much. It's more focused on just like character and heart. Whereas this was like focused on scale and trying to make sure that the character, the main character, was relevant. It's like, he doesn't really need to be in this story anymore if you think about it, but we're gonna like keep him in there, and they find creative ways to do it, even though I didn't wholly agree with it. It's there, and it's one of those things where you have to check your brain at the door, otherwise you won't enjoy it. Not to the level of Michael Bay, but it comes like 50% of the way there.
I will say though, like all of the stuff with the robots, like with the Autobots and Maximals and all of that, like I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Like I enjoyed seeing them up there on the big screen, and like you were saying, the VFX have only improved time after time. And like I was just so amazed at how well they were able to like anthropomorphize them and like make them look like they have emotions and everything. And I was loving that probably more so than like a lot of the human interactions.
Yeah, I think, the Maximals, they did a very good job with them.
They're far more interesting than the human characters.
They're far more interesting. There's always a need to sort of like push that human relevancy. And I feel like it worked in the first one when they were actually, you had the whole entire U.S. Air Force sort of like, you know, working with them and planning strategies, providing cover fire, support fire. Not so much this one.
It's how we can't really explain it without giving anything away, so we're deliberately kind of being vague and mysterious so as to not spoil the movie for you. I mean, it follows a lot of the same rhythms that you'll find in epic action films like this.
Yeah.
You know, where you have your, Shia LaBeouf or your Mark Wahlberg.
Mark
Wahlberg, and who else? And what's her name? Who plays Gwen?
Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld. Like,
yeah.
so there's like that similar journey that happens with each of these Transformers movies, and it follows a lot of those same beats. And so you kind of can predict where the movie's going. It's still a lot of fun. Like, the action pieces deliver. That's the thing. It's like, when you go to watch one of these things, it's like you're not going to watch a kung fu movie for the story. You're going to watch a kung fu movie for the kung fu, right?
And if you get a story, it's a bonus.
Yes, exactly. And so if you're going to watch a Transformers film, you're watching it for the epic set pieces, for the action, for things getting blown up and whatever. All that, it delivers. It delivers very, very strong. And that, in that regard, it's a ton of fun. And that I can give a strong recommendation if that's what you're looking for. Are you joining our review, Koi? What's going on? You have to come in here for like, you got to pop in for a hot second.
Rise of the Beasts. Beasts will rise.
Okay, is that your take on this?
My take is that the Transformers movie started really, really broad, and I feel like they're chipping away to find their essence, and this movie is the most formally and formatted to be chipped away to the essence of Transformers, so it filled a lot of my heart, but it definitely has the burden of being like the seventh one, which I think is its strength and its weakness.
That's Koi, once again, in one fell swoop, destroying everything I have said.
Yeah.
He's really good at that. The first time I met Koi was on Collider, and it was like, he could just like rattle off something brilliant. I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore.
So that's the review, you guys.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's it.
No, exactly. Very quickly in the film, when I was watching it, I'm like, I don't know why the humans are involved in this story at a certain point. Like, they just don't need to be part of this journey. It's just about the robots,
I would absolutely love a War on Cybertron movie.
Yeah. I was actually kind of waiting for that, to be honest with you. Like,
Still waiting for it.
Yeah, there was a part of me that was like, well, why don't we just go there? Like, that just seems to be where the story should go.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But and so, like I said earlier, they try to keep the human characters relevant in the story, and they do an interesting job of exploring that in this particular movie in a way that we haven't seen in previous Transformers films. I will say that much in terms of like history and stuff like that. Like that, they went deeper in, and I was like, oh, okay, we haven't actually explored it in that particular way. I don't want to be, again, I'm keeping this vague. That was a cool way to expand on the lore of Transformers, in a brand new and original way. That being said, at a certain point, the humans still don't need to be in this movie. But they tried, they really, really tried. They like, I could see what they were doing, and I was like, all right, I guess they're gonna be in the story still. And like, they're gonna do things that don't make a whole lot of sense. Like at one point, there's this like journey that the characters have to take to help out the Transformers, and there's like this secret passage thing, and I'm like, I already know that when this passage opens up, it's going to be perfect size for humans and not for robots.
Yeah.
And
there was a lot of that.
Standard play right out of the Transformers playbook. Give them a guffin to the human character, let them run around a little bit while the Transformers fight, and have them do something to save the day at the end or something.
But like, okay, so I kind of appreciated that they took it back to the Shia LaBeouf Transformers 1 in that regard. They really did that. They really brought that kind of thing back. And I'm like, that's cool. I appreciate that. I just wish they did a better job with handling it through the rest of the story. You know what I mean? Like, there are points where the main character is like, I'm going with you. And I'm like, why would they say yes to this?
Yeah.
Like, there's really no reason for that.
Just don't think too hard.
You guys, that about covers it. Thanks so much for hanging with us. If you got to see Transformers by the time you're watching this video, do let us know your feelings in the comments below. And if you do watch it, make sure you watch it in IMAX, because that is the optimal way.
What did you
Optimal
just
prime
do?
way to watch this. So thanks again. I'm JABYBHAI. This is
ACHARAJI.
and
LEQUAN BENNETT.
peace out.